What's going on, everyone? Dragonzard is back, bringing another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. Today, it's a rematch against Fake Banette. If you could, before we get started, as always, please push the like button below, leave a comment, rating, subscribe, or you can also follow me on Twitter at DragonzardX. If you guys, this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. Thanks for checking me out. Hopefully you guys like what you see, and hopefully I continue to bring you guys good stuff. So, on that note, this team probably looks familiar. It is my mixed tier team that I went the best out of 3 with Caleb on, and I was kind of testing it out. I was kind of testing it out at this point. Like I said, it's very similar to the mixed tier team I used against Caleb. This is the original mixed tier team I was going to use before he was like, "Hey, let's throw an Uber in." So, as you see, initially it had Crobat, Galvantula, Alakazam, Chansey, Mega Charizard X, and Dusclops. The Crobat is holding the Life Orb. Focus Sash Galvantula. Alakazam has the Focus Sash. Chansey Eviolite and Dusclops Eviolite and Mega Charizard X. Like I said, the whole point of this team is to get up the Sticky Web and basically let Mega Charizard X come in and sweep. Because I've got the Sticky Web set up, my Alakazam I'm running is actually modest. Alakazam's pretty fast anyway, but I know with Sticky Web support, he's basically going to outspeed pretty much everything in the tier. Crobat is always fast, and Chansey and Dusclops don't really have to be too fast to do their job, while they are as walls anyway. So, we see my opponent, Fake Banette, is bringing the Torkoal, he's bringing the Hippowdon, he's bringing the Reuniclus, he's bringing the Skarmory, I'm going to assume that's a Mega Gardevoir, and he's also bringing the Roserade. Now, things I have to worry about, the Reuniclus could be Trick Room, because I know Hippowdon, Torkoal are both pretty slow. The Skarmory could defog my Sticky Web, and the Torkoal could actually also Rapid Spin my Sticky Web. So I need to watch out for those two when I get my Sticky Web set up. I know his Roserade can set up Toxic Spikes. I know Hippowdon sets up a Sandstorm, and everything I got will take damage from that. And Mega Gardevoir is always powerful. So I do have a lot of things to worry about. And yeah, let's just see if I can pull this off. Let's jump right in, guys. Get a sip of coffee real quick. Like I said, bulk recording today. I'm going on vacation here in about a week, actually. And I'm trying to get, you guys are still going to have a video every day. I promise you that. I'm just trying to kind of bulk record so I can make sure you guys have a video every day. So we see me open with the Crobat, him open with the Kingpin, his Roserade. He switches out right away, goes into Valkyrie, which is his Skarmory. I didn't know if he was going to switch out or not. Kind of figured he might, so I went for the Taunt. Now he can't set up Stealth Rocks. Now he also can't defog, so I go for the U-turn here. And I actually am going to U-turn out. I want to say I go into my Galvantula right here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. Yep, Galvantula. I thought I could get Sticky Web off. This was kind of a mistake, though, because he's running the Brave Bird. I've not really seen that many offensive Skarmories, so I didn't really know that he packs the Brave Bird. Obviously he does. Should have thought about that, but I didn't. I saw a chance to set up Sticky Web, so I went for it. He goes out into Sahara, who is his Hippowdon. And as you see right here, I actually do get the Sticky Web off. So that is a plus for me. And at this point, I'm trying to figure out what I've got that really wants to take on this Hippowdon. Because I know Hippowdon is really, really thick. And if he gets set up, I know he can curse, he can stockpile, he can do a lot of damage. While I'm trying to slowly whittle away at his HP. So I go into my Dusclops right now. He uses the Ice Fang, which isn't going to do a lot of anything to Dusclops, because, like I said, this thing is a monster. But yes, I'm loving this Dusclops so much. I'm bragging on it in like 3 videos, but I love this thing so much. He hits me again with the Earthquake, and that doesn't do much either. I get the Will-O-Wisp off, which basically ensures that from this point on, Hippowdon isn't going to do a thing to Dusclops. So I'm in a pretty good spot right now, minus the Sandstorm, that stinks. But he's also taking burn damage, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to hurt me at all. So, excuse me guys, at this point he starts stockpiling, which I'm really not concerned about at all, and you're about to see why. Nightshade. Nightshade always does damage equal to your level. So he's always going to take 50 damage from this, regardless of, how many times he stockpiles, how high his defense is, whatever. So that will always do 50 damage. He goes for the Earthquake here. Doesn't do too much to Dusclops. I go for the Nightshade again. Like I said, always does 50 HP worth of damage. Sandstorm subsides, that's really good for me. He takes some burn damage. And at this point, I'm just going to go for a Shadow Sneak. But he does go for the Protect there. I guess just Scouting, not too sure, but he does Protect there. Gets more burn damage. And I'm just going to go for the Shadow Sneak again. That way I can go ahead and take him out. Dusclops getting the kill, outstalling the Hippowdon. And we see Dusclops takes Rocky Helmet damage. It does stink, but, you know, I took out the Hippowdon, so I'm not going to complain about it. Goes out into his Gardevoir, and Dusclops does not want to take anything from this. However, Chansey does. As you can see, my OU pokes are Chansey and Mega Charizard. So, he is going to Mega Evolve here. Gardevoir is always a special attacker. Well, I've always seen special attacker. Goes for Dazzling Gleam. It is Stab, but this is a Chansey. It's not going to do much of anything. So he does switch out, seeing that. Goes into his Kingpin. And his Kingpin gets hit with the Sticky Web. We see it's good for me. I go for the Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss is pretty much like Nightshade. Always going to do damage equal to its level. So he's going to take 50 damage here. And we see that Roserade is pretty fragile. So that's good for me. I kind of suspect the Toxic Spikes here, so I go into my Crobat. He actually goes for the Leech Seed. Really stinks. Wasn't predicting that at all. Like I said, I was really kind of sold on Toxic Spikes, but hey, you know, what do you do? He made a play there and I didn't. So at this point, I just switch my Crobat right out, and I go into Smog, who is my Charizard. I pretty much know that anything he does, Charizard can take, not a problem. As you see, he takes the Giga Drain like a champ. Double resisted, I want to say, from Flying and Fire type. So he's going to withdraw. I predict that, and it does a lot of good for me, actually, because right here, I'm able to Dragon Dance and Mega Evolve. And let's get started, because Mega Charizard X is the star of this team. I'm psyched to show him off to you guys. Like I say, he's my mascot poke. One of my favorite, he is my favorite poke of all time, guys. He is my favorite poke. So, I get the Dragon Dance off. Charizard's finally a dragon, as he should have been all along. I go for the Flare Blitz. I'm a +1 Flare Blitz. This is an Adamant Nature Charizard. He's not going to like that. Reuniclus goes down to 1 Flare Blitz. But the bad thing about Flare Blitz is look at that damage. That thing had a ton of HP. A ton. So now he goes into the Torkoal, which I'm kind of fearing that he's a Rapid Spinner here. So I'm hoping at +1 I can take him out with an Earthquake. But man, this thing is strong. I did not realize that Torkoal had that kind of HP, or defense. That thing is such a monster. So, Charizard's at a 4 HP now. He goes back out into Valkyrie. I didn't predict the switch. So I do go for the Earthquake again. Doesn't affect him. But I know I need to get rid of the Skarmory because that thing is such a wall. Now, fortunately for me here, his leftovers don't bring him back to full HP. So that means the Sturdy is still broken. So I can take him out with 1 hit here, and I do. But that's also going to make Mega Charizard fall. Which does stink, but it is a calculated risk. He took out the Reuniclus, which would have been hard to take out. He took out the Skarmory, which could have defogged, and he almost took out the Torkoal, which could have also caused me trouble. Now he goes back into Gardevoir right here. I believe I just double back out at this point, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I do. Because I don't want to get into a basically attack contest with a Mega Gardevoir. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to end too well for my Alakazam. I pretty much sack off my Galvantula at this point. If he would have tried to set up, I probably went for a Bug Buzz, which would have done decent damage. He is weak to it. But I go into Crobat right here, and I know that with Sticky Web, he is going to be slower than my Crobat. Crobat gets the Cross Poison off, and that is going to be enough to one-shot him, because he is weak, it's Stab, and it's Life Orb. So now, he's got his Torkoal left, and like I said, I'm Adamant, I'm Life Orb, I got the Brave Bird. From that range, it should kill. Even as powerful as Torkoal is defensively, from that range, it should take him out, and it does. Crobat is getting the mini sweep here for the finish. All he's got left right now is his Kingpin, the Roserade, and Crobat is going to outspeed. I can go for another Brave Bird, and that's GG. So again, my opponent for this match was Chris, aka Fake Banette. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, he's got some good stuff up. He's just getting started. You know, he's not much different than I was a week or two ago, back when I didn't have many subs at all. So if you guys get the chance, please check him out, show him some support. He's a great guy. The bayonet that I used in one of my previous videos is actually from him. One more thing, I meant to touch on that last video, I don't think I did. So if you guys notice, a lot of the pokes I'm using now are stuff that have been given to me by subscribers. And that is excellent. That's really, really cool, guys. You know, a lot of times after battles, I'll trade with you guys. And, you know, I'll ask you guys, hey, is there anything on my team you liked? I'll breed one for you. I'll, you know, trade it to you, whatever. We can trade one from each team. And go like that. So, you know, this way I can showcase stuff that you want to see on the channel. And, you know, it gives me more stuff to choose from, more variety to bring you guys every day. So everyone's happy, you know. You don't have to do it, like I said, usually like after a battle, I'll ask you if you guys want to trade or whatever. I'll give you something off my team you guys liked, and I'll, you know, pretty much do the same off your guys' team. But again, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that at all. So with that, like I said, the battle's over. Good game to my opponents. You know, a lot of times the score don't really reflect what actually happened in the battle. Because battles can be a lot closer than what the final score dictates, and, you know, I feel like that gets lost sometimes. That was a really good match. I only had one bad play. My predictions are pretty much spot on the entire game, so, you know, I just had a game that time around. You know, like I said, don't let that, you know, dissuade you from going to check out this guy's channel. He's a really good battler. He's a really good guy. So, I think that's about all I wanted to touch on. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you subscribe. Hopefully you come back. And I really, at one point, I want to get to the point where I'm just battling subscribers and that's it. So, you guys can make that happen. I know you guys are there for me. You guys got my back. I appreciate that so much. Thank you guys for all you do. Thank you guys for the support you continue to give me every single day. I appreciate that more than you guys can know. So, one last time, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Dragonzard out.